Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to the newest Hive Humpday Hangout. It's a small crowd today. It looks like I picked a wrong topic, but it's such an important topic, but it looks like people don't realize how important is governance and how important are these things. And also Bitcoin and Hive are pumping just at this moment, so everybody is selling its tokens, selling its kids or its family and everything, and then everybody is probably hypnotized by those charts moves. Anyways, those charts will not go away, so I think that we are at the beginning of a bull market, so I think there is no time to be FOMO'd and no reason to hurry things up. So let's try to talk about the topic for today and let's see what happens. We are enough to clarify some things. Like my Spotify says, we waited for a long time. Yes, we were waiting for a long time. So that's cool that we are finally there. So we will see until where we will go. So welcome Edwin357, Melinda, my Pathfinder, Paloma, welcome to the show. Yeah, kind of what Paloma says, don't like FOMO. FOMO is probably one of your biggest enemies, FOMO and FUD. So we should try to avoid them as we don't think clearly if we are FOMOing or FUDing. Usually we should do the opposite, stay calm and think with our heads. So let's talk about Hive witnesses and governance on Hive. That's today's topic. And let's see how we are thinking about these things, which, as I said, are very, very important to talk about as Hive is a decentralized ecosystem, decentralized blockchain. And let's talk about that actually. So when people are talking about decentralization, about the blockchain, most of the time those who are coders, those who are running the nodes for a blockchain, they are talking about the physical infrastructure that is decentralized. And that's kind of the thing that witnesses are doing on Hive. They are running nodes which are running the blockchain, signing, validating transactions, creating blocks. And decentralized blockchain actually means that we have nodes all around the globe and not just on one place. So if one node fails, we have others. We have over 100 nodes, active nodes at the moment. So which means if one fails, it doesn't matter. So the blockchain is still there. Your content is still there that you have created on the blog, on your blog. So everything is fine. If you have a centralized blockchain which has nodes just on one place, if something goes wrong, everything goes wrong, everything goes down. So that's regarding the decentralizing the nodes. On the other side, when somebody says decentralization, people are thinking about how decentralized are the tokens out there. So that's a bit different story, as not everybody has the same amount of tokens, especially in these times when price goes up. So some people will dump the tokens, some people will FOMO in or buy tokens, and so on and so on. So tokens are changing hands, which means that if some blockchain is decentralized physically with a physical infrastructure, it doesn't mean that it has to be decentralized by the tokens. So if you have one token owner who owns over 50% of the blockchain, that's probably bad for the blockchain. That's heavily centralized blockchain. Hive is moderately decentralized, I would say. If you watch at the rich list of Hive owners, I wouldn't say that we are fully out there, but I like to say and repeat myself that every single day that passes, the blockchain token owners are changing. So in a way, those who have a lot, they probably sell some of these bags, others are picking up. So the hands are changing, and that's important thing. So the blockchain that we had 3 years ago is not the same as it is today. So the rich list is not the same. Maybe it is by the rankings, but it's not by the percentages of how many tokens are people holding in their bags. But I went completely in the wrong direction. So let's go back to the node runners, as my butterfly said on the comment on the announcement post. So witnesses are running the nodes who are running the blockchain. And we will try to focus on that part. One important thing that I didn't say in announcement post, and I didn't actually bumped up on the Hive IO when I was checking it for some definitions of governance, is something that happened actually, now it's almost 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when Hive forked out from Steam, which meant that to change the things, to change some big things on the blockchain, to change how it works, you have to have consensus about those changes, which means that those top 20 witnesses on top of the list are those who are deciding about changes for implementing the changes on the blockchain. So, and to change something on the blockchain, 17 of those 20 has to agree about the certain change. In those moments, it doesn't matter if somebody has 1 million Hive power or 10 million or 50 million Hive power. It just matters if it is in the top 20 witnesses. So that's very, very, very important to say, as everybody has the same vote for those things. So it's very important, because these changes on the blockchain level can make a huge difference in a long run. So we had I forgot how many hard forks it was, 18 or even more, I don't know. I forgot it, so sorry about that. And every single hard fork made a huge change to the blockchain. For example, we have this different split between author and curation rewards, for example, and also this stuff when we forked out from Steam, so that the HF was created and everything else. So that was something that didn't exist at all on the legacy blockchain. So it's important to say that top 20 witnesses are equal when they are deciding about those things. So the main juice of the show is always interaction with you guys, of course. So that's where I would like to hear of you guys. Why are you voting for somebody, or why you don't vote for somebody, and how is it important to you to pick somebody to vote for? Do you use all of yours because you have 30 votes, so you can vote for 30 witnesses, and you can vote for one witness or for none of them? So that's your choice, and there is no, of course, a good way or a bad way to vote. Everybody has its own reasons for cast a vote or not, and we should of course respect those differences. That's what we try to do in the show, of course. So I will list a couple of these reasons why people vote for some witnesses or not. So these are just random notes that I took before the show, observing others, what others are doing, and it's not a rule, it's nothing specific, it's just something that I bumped up on, so it's nothing that you have to stick to it or something. So that's the thing. But before that, let me just check out a few comments that we got in the meantime. Duskubagade said, I just stopped by to give you a wave. There is no way I'll be with you live today, and since I'm interested in topics about the importance of witnesses and who to vote for, I'll wait for the video and watch it in detail. Thank you very much, Duskubagade, for your support. I hope that the recording will be out. Speaking of recording, I just want to mention that I still didn't publish the recording from the last show, because I was publishing the previous 2 shows, because 3Speak didn't work for maybe 4 weeks or something like that. So I stacked up a bunch of recordings from the previous shows, but I will try to do the last week show maybe today or tomorrow, the latest, and this one I hope it will come before the next show, and then we will go back to the schedule. It was just a mess with the 3Speak upload issues, so that just prolonged and delayed everything. Anyways, so that's just regarding the recordings. Recording is prepared from the last week, so it will be published today, tomorrow. Okay, so let me see. Hello, Volkathos, welcome to the show. Bienvenido. Foxcoit is busy, but he will try to text. I don't know how he'll try to text if he doesn't hear what we are talking about, but maybe somebody can type to him what we are talking about. But okay. 3Speak is working, so you can watch videos. At least it was like that this morning, but you can't upload new videos, and that was the issue, and I couldn't upload recordings, so at the end I had to upload them to YouTube, which I really hate to do. But the good thing is that on YouTube, for those who are not who don't understand English that good, you can actually turn on the captions and you can read the subtitles in your language, so that's a good thing, something good from that YouTube. But I hope that 3Speak will fix their issues and that we can finally come back to publishing videos here on our chain and support projects on our chain like 3Speak, which is doing a great job, but lately they are switching to different kind of hosting videos, and that probably will take some time. Okay, let's go back to the topic. I'm so much going out of the topics, but okay. Let's see. So, reason why people are voting for witnesses. I just caught some of them, so I will just read them what I found it. But later on, I will really appreciate if some of you would come on mic and share your opinions on your views. Why do you vote for somebody, and why will you never vote for somebody, and so on and so on. So reasons for vote for some witnesses, for example, one of the reasons can be that the person for who you are voting, the witness, has a lot of skin in the game. For example, that's one of the reasons why I like to check out the witnesses and what I want to see. Now, it doesn't important if somebody is rich or poor, so it's not to think about that, but it's just more about the thing that if somebody has a lot of skin in the game, which means that he's dedicated to the platform, for example, like first thing, and like a main thing is if somebody has a big stake in the game, he will probably take care of its stake, and if somebody takes care of its tokens, he probably will be more responsible in making some decision or more cautious about rushing out some decisions regarding the blockchain. And that's probably one of the rules that I would like to follow too with witness that I'm running with Akim. By the way, welcome Akim to the show. Volkathos, it is a saying in English that you have skin in the game, which means that you are fully into something. So if you are, I don't know, if you are running a PC shop, then you are probably have a lot of computers that you like to repair, or you have some tradition in doing that, and you are all into that, and you're searching all things about that. So that's kind of a term, skin in the game. Okay, so that is one of the reasons that I would like to, that I check before voting for some witness. Other reason is, for example, I saw some of the comments said that somebody is voting for witnesses who are having a higher APR for HBD, for example, HBD savings. So that's another valid reason for voting for some people. So and in one moment I remember when APR was around 20%. By the way, talking about the APR 20% for HBD, that attribute or signal, what witnesses are signaling, is important only if you are in top 20. So only top 20 are counting for taking out the median value for the HBD savings APR. So if you are out of top 20, yeah, top 20 plus one, yeah, thank you, Akim. If you are out of top 21, whatever you're signaling is actually, it's not important. So because it's not taking out the median value from all witnesses, but only from those first 21. So that's the difference. So if that is something that is important for you, if you are voting for somebody just because it has higher APR, you should also think about that. It's about the importance of that. If you are voting for somebody from top 20, for example, or maybe 25, 20, somebody who has a chance to go to top 20 at the moment, because you always can change your vote. So that's important to say. You can vote for somebody today and tomorrow unvote everybody and vote for completely different people. So that's also important to say. There is no some time that you have to wait to that you can vote for somebody else. And in one moment, actually, those 20% was a huge selling point to some to vote, and it was very, very interesting to see people who had a bigger stake, but for example, they have a huge HBD savings, and they would just cast their vote for people who are still in 20%. But in the end, I think that Hive price went down significantly. APR went down to 15%, and it wasn't a big drama at all. So that was something that was interesting to realize. I suppose that people understood that there is a time for a higher APR and for lower APR, and maybe those moments weren't the best one to keep the APR at 20%. I don't know. At the moment it's 15%, but that is one of the reasons why people vote for some witnesses. Other reasons can be that maybe some of the witnesses is a main developer on the blockchain, and he or she knows the best what is good or bad for the chain. So that is also interesting to think. But again, on the developer level, it's interesting that on the developer level, you maybe think that some idea is a good one, but again, on a community level, it can be completely different. So it can make something unexpected result from your changes in the code. So that's also interesting. So pay attention on that too. So maybe we should have a balance between these things between witnesses. Maybe a few witnesses what are doing one thing and others doing something differently, and maybe to create some kind of combo of different people with different skills. So that's maybe a secret. I don't know. I'm just guessing here and throwing out my opinion. Other reasons, maybe some of these witnesses, we have witnesses who are curation projects, so you are voting for them because you think they are doing something useful, for example. So that can be useful for keeping the community together. Also, we have some witnesses that are raising some important questions that nobody wants to ask. So that's also important. Maybe they are not that comfortable to you to vote. Maybe they have completely different opinions, but sometimes it's good that you have people who are thinking in a different way and asking different questions, as they can open your mind and to think more broader about different topics. So these are kind of reasons for vote for somebody, and of course there are plenty of other reasons, and I would like to hear some of your reasons. Why would you vote for some witnesses, and why are you voting for some witnesses? So that are some of the reasons to vote. If somebody wants to say something, I would like to hear, why do you vote for some witnesses? Give me your reasons.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Paloma. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Please share with us your opinion about witnesses and governance in general. And welcome, Foxhoid.
Yes.
Sorry.
I was writing my answer, and I think it's better to say that. Well, I try to do a mixed selection. My main witnesses are the Spanish communities ones, of course, and we have Aliento, Ispapro, La Colmena, Hive Cuba, and Empo Witness. If I don't, I think I remember all of them. Some of them are in a medium rank positions. Uh, 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 there was another one, Cervantes, that went off about a year ago, approximately. And well, it's my mode to support the Spanish community. Uh, well,
They are
and
mainly
then
curation projects, no?
yes, most of them are curation projects. I have the tendency to the curations because it's the most pleasure activity to me in Hive, and well, I like to support them. And in the 20 top, the top 20, sorry, I in the beginning when I don't had so much idea about these functions of the witnesses, I voted to do the top 20. Uh, and well, now is only the opposite. I try to vote as minimum in the top 20 because I like to decentralize, and I think we need more voices uh, talking in our own.
Yeah, I agree, and I did the same. So when I came to the blockchain, I was voting for top 20 because I have no idea what it is about, and I didn't know anyone. So that it was my first what I was doing. But as you said, as you are getting more into the community, then you start meeting those people, then you see how they think, what their ways of thinking about Hive and everything, and then you, if it's aligned with your thinking, then you vote for them. So that's kind of a nice way to do it actually.
Yes. The problem is that when I have a new witness, and I have all my votes used, I have to unvote one of them, and I always try to compare uh, if I continue to use their services, or um, they are active, or they post about their activities. I try to compare, and well, I am a small fish in the ocean, but well, I try to do as good as well as I can.
Yeah, what you said about voting out of top 20, especially when you don't have too much high power, and when you vote for somebody who is out of top 20, somewhere, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 100 or something, then your vote actually counts. And then maybe your vote is actually one that moves one position up some witness, and that's nice to see because it
Yeah.
matters.
Yes. Yes.
It's visible.
Yes. And well, that's all for my part.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for hearing me.
Actually, I heard that what Paloma shared about voting out of top 20 a few times, and I heard from some of orcas or dolphins on Hive that they are like to vote out of top 20 just because of the reason what I shared, so just because that you see that your vote actually matters for those top 20 too sometimes. And I saw, I think that between 20 and 21st place, it was like 3 or 4 the difference. So it was very, very small difference. And that's probably just vote from one dolphin or something like that it can change the top 20. It's nice to see these things that people are fighting for votes and trying to do better to get those votes. As Paloma said, I think that all of us have this problem, especially if you are longer on Hive, then you start to know people, know more people, and then you have these 30 votes and somebody starts with a new witness, and then you have to kick out one of those 30, and you know all of them, and you know that they are doing a good job. And you have to do the thing that they compare with each other and see who is active and who is not active anymore. And that's a good thing. That pushes people to do better. If somebody unvotes your witness, then you think, oh, what I did wrong. Maybe I should do something better. Maybe I should do more. And that's a good thing. That's because everybody works for the chain. And that's the point of witnesses, and not just witnesses, but every single person here. Let me check out the comments. Akim said, what would be nice to see is how witnesses see the future of Hive and what they do to achieve this future. Yes, that's a nice thinking. We had a few times some huge debates, and I remember people losing a lot of votes just by saying what they want to see Hive, because it was differently viewed from others. So it's not that you are scared to say what you think, it's just that you are not aligned with the majority. Sometimes it can hurt, so, but it's a voting system, so you are there where people want to see you. My Spotify says it does seem that many witnesses are invisible. More posts would be good. Well, I find myself guilty here on this point, because we on Lyotes we are running a Hive witness node, and I am doing the part of the technical part of that, so setting up the server, and I was promising a lot of times to do some updates about our witness node, and I didn't do it. So it's kind of I don't know, but okay, we are communicating in different ways, so we are publishing different posts on our main account on our Lyotes, but regarding the Hive witness, I'm guilty on that, so we need to do better. So we need to share more things about that, especially maybe the technical stuff, as I'm preparing the post for, because we are 1 year witness, and we will probably share more things about that very, very soon, I hope. So I'm guilty on that point, but as I said, we have witnesses that didn't post anything and didn't communicate with others, so that's also, I don't know, debatable. But again, some of the developers on Hive blockchain, they are mostly into the coding and developing, so not more on the side of blogging or posting. So that's kind of a good excuse for them. So I'm trying to defend them, like Bitcoins was defending the other things last time in the show. I'm a devil's advocate today. By the way, welcome Bitcoins and welcome JDR. Welcome to the show. We are talking about Hive witnesses and governance on Hive. And we are sharing our opinion why we vote for somebody or why we don't vote for somebody, why we vote for some witnesses. Hakim says, yes, it's sometimes very difficult to understand what they are standing for and what they want Hive to go. Top 20 are rather the old guard. We also need some fresh blood. Vote out of top 20 matter even more because they can help witnesses to cover their cost around the witness. It seems that, Paloma says, it seems that when we arrive at Hive, we are all following the same guidelines without knowing, following and voting the big accounts witnesses. Yes, because you just come here and you don't know what's happening and you don't know anyone, and then you think, well, I should cast my vote and I vote for top 20 because everybody is doing that, so you just follow the rules and do that. And I suppose that it goes like that for everybody. So, but as I said, as you are growing on the chain, then you realize how it goes, and then you try to find what witnesses are aligning with your opinion about Hive and where it should go, and then you vote. actually it's a good thing. So when you are new, you don't have high power, and your vote doesn't mean that much. And when you are more on Hive, more years or more months, weeks, whatever, and you are accumulating high power, you have more power, and then you have more knowledge, and it's normal, and it's very organic thing to change your votes and cast, and then your vote starts to mean something. It's very interesting how it goes. I didn't think about that at all, so just when I see this comment by Paloma, interesting. That's an interesting thought. Okay, so Paloma shared her views for how she casts her votes for witnesses. So if you want to share your opinions and your views, why do you vote for somebody, and you want to share it in public, so you can do it. Open your mic and talk. We are waiting to hear your thoughts. As I said, there is no good way or bad way. It's just like what are you thinking about the chain? What are you thinking about for witnesses? So it's not a good or bad thing to do if you have some different opinion or views. Hey, Batcoins, you opened the mic.
Hey, I did open my mic. I just figure out. I actually I moved around some witnesses this last week, so I don't mind like sort of sharing a little bit of my thought process around like why I moved the witnesses around. Um, I did something fairly similar to what you're talking about in the beginning. I kind of voted the top 20, or you get 30 choices, so you almost like you choose the names you recognize, right? And then over the years, I think going to a few Hive fests, you sometimes meet people personally, and then you realize they're running a node, and so those things have shaped some of like my past choices. And but I realized about I think I looked at it about like 4 days ago or so. I realized that when I went down through the list, some of the people I had chose, I really didn't know what it was that they stood for, or why it was that I voted for them. And I had met a handful of new people that I felt like I would like to throw support towards their witness. So this week, I believe I voted for Leotes because I've just enjoyed your input. I don't really know a ton about like what your driving point as a witness is, but I did happen to make that switch this week. And I've been involved in a handful of chats that Solo Miner has come around to, and I just really I enjoy hearing his point of view, and I just like the way he speaks about his witness journey, and I really wanted to support his witness. I was like, I like that, and whether he makes it into the top 20, or whether later down the line I need to switch away from his witness, then so be it. But I at this point chose it based on a feeling that I had about the way he talked about his witness experience. So I realized I had about 3 or 4 things in my past votes that I didn't really even know why I was voting for them. And so I decided to switch them around for people I had a more maybe personal interaction with, or personal feeling towards what type of human being and what direction I think that their witness would be going in. So that was how I built my mindset of the most recent choices that I made around choosing my witnesses. I'm guilty of not being the most technically minded, and not knowing like maybe somebody is like a witness that's really holding the whole of Hive together, and maybe I should be voting for them, but I'm not that technically minded, so I tend to make my choices based off of personal feeling towards either the what the witness says that they say, or if I actually met somebody involved with it. Yeah, and that's my little 2 cents.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the vote. First thing first, thank you for the vote. And second thing, the Hive Fest experience, that's something on another level. So when you meet people who are there, I was talking about the skin in the game before you joined the show. So it was one of the first things that I mentioned, actually, that if you vote for somebody because somebody has a lot of skin in the game, Skin in the game can mean also not just having a lot of high power and Hive in your wallet, but also going to these meetups, or going to these virtual meetups, or going to physical meetups for HiveFest, showing up there, and showing up there by example, that you are there, with the community, and you are there to present Hive and to present something useful for Hive, not just by presenting on the stage, but just being there and supporting others, or supporting what you are doing. That's on really another level. That's the personal approach that you mentioned, and it's even more hurt when you uh, meet more than 20, more than 30 witnesses in life, and then you have to pick one to kick out and to put somebody else in. So that's on another level, what Paloma was also talking about, so switching some of the votes. But again, I really try to take it not personally, some of these voting or not voting. It's more like a thing that people are not aligned in the same way. We just think differently, and we think in different ways, and we have different views of Hive, what we want to see from Hive. And if your view is not the same as mine, it's not wrong, it's just different, and I should respect your view and you should respect my view. So that's the thing. And that's why I would like to say that there is no good or bad way to do it, or to have bad view or bad opinion. I don't know. We are all here because we do care about Hive. So, and all those people in all those over 100 witnesses are really care about Hive, and that's why they are running their witness nodes. So it's just that there are some tiny differences between those people, and tiny differences are maybe those who are deciding if you will vote or not vote for somebody. So that's just my 2 cents. Thank you very much for sharing, sir. Okay, Batcoins shared his views about for people who he is voting for in witness list. So if you want to share your views, so how do you vote for some high witnesses? Why do you vote for somebody? What are your reasons to give a vote to somebody? You can open your mic and you can share with us. We want to hear you.
You don't mind if I share my position?
Hey, Akim. Yeah, we will not mind.
I find very interesting what Woodcoin said, is that he found it very interesting to follow actually the path of a witness, and maybe we are neglecting that. We should do more posts about our witness journey, I think, and what we are working on, what we are experiencing. I think this brings a lot. I think what my Path of Fire wrote before is true. A lot of witnesses are quite silent, and it's pretty difficult to actually vote for somebody who you don't really know what they are doing, what they are up to, what they plan. In the end, we are voting, and it's a kind of democratic procedure, and we should vote for the people who have the same opinion about the blockchain that we have, and they see the same future as we do. And we should also adapt. I think one very good point is the interest on HPD, for example. I think it's an important point to have different levels of HPD interests, and so people can choose this as a selector selection point. I mean, do I want 15%? Do I want 20%? Do I want only 2%? And this can give show what actually witnesses should do. If people see that the lower interest rates go up, then witnesses should adapt, maybe, because the general, I don't think it's the case, but I think as witness, you have to listen to people as well, and you have to have a kind of idea of where you want to go and what you want to stand for, because in the end, the great thing about Hive is that we actually have are on the command of the ship, and we define where it goes. And I think I expect witnesses to show where they want to go, and also that they more or less have the same direction that I want to go. So that's a bit my point.
Thank you for sharing. Akim and I, we are running the Lyotis Witness, and we very, very often do not share the same opinion or same view. So we have a lot of debates and discussions. So, and maybe I do agree with a part of what Akim says, but maybe I don't agree with another part. I do agree that in a certain way we should shape uh, like what majority wants to do at the moment, but in other point of view, I think maybe we should stand behind what we are thinking that it's a good way. I don't know. It's a kind of tricky. So maybe you are right. So it's just a point of, I don't know. It's very very good point of view. So to I don't know.
I think it's something in between.
Yeah.
I think you can't just let everybody decide, oh, let's do this, let's do that, because it's always the loudest to define afterwards where you're going. You have to have a kind of direction, but you could take into account what people are thinking, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of a small tweaks around it.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you said of sharing about your witness journey, because it's true, you don't really see that much. And I feel like I would be interested in seeing a post about whatever witness, and just them sharing a piece of the journey and what they're up to. I think it's a smart thing to do in my eyes. So I like that part that you spoke of.
Yeah, that's something that I think that on every at least on every Hive Fest we should have top 20 witnesses out there and sharing their views about Hive. So that's something that I really expect from every single witness in top 20. I don't it's not that I don't care, but even if you want to stay anonymous, you can do it some in some way, maybe to present through video or to present just talking or just present by writing. But I think it's kind of thing that people should know about what are you are in top 20. You decide what you can decide what will happen tomorrow. So it's important to know what you are thinking about, at least for top 20, as I said. So that's kind of a way. When we launched our Layotes witness, so I'm it's not a self promotion, but just saying kind of a journey. When we launched that, and I just felt that we need to be present on these meetups, in those real life meetups, just to share what we are stand behind, so what how we see Hive, and to share our story. And that's why we went to Hamburg. That's why we went to Hive Fest. We didn't do a huge presentation, but we just shared what we are doing. So we didn't promise some crazy stuff and to see we will launch it soon and stuff like that. We just presented what we are doing, and that was okay. So in my opinion, that's something that witnesses should do, and to share it somehow. I don't know if I welcomed Bolkathos and Wandering Moon, so welcome you two to the show. The rest were already here. Wandering Moon, you made it, so thanks for coming. Okay, so we heard a couple of views, opinions. Microphone is still open to more views and more opinions and more reasons to vote for some witnesses. If you want to share why do you vote for some witnesses, you can do it freely. Open your mic and start talking. In the end, this is a hangout. It's not just me talking or just two people talking. It's most of the people talking. If you don't want to talk, if you're not comfortable to talk, you can write it down in the chat. I will read it.
I apologize if my background is noisy. I'm at work on my lunch break.
Oh,
I won't vote for somebody I don't know. I have to have had some kind of communication interaction with the witness.
that's a good reason. Thank you for sharing. That's really good reason. I think that I raised the level also on that one. So if I have to vote for somebody, I have to have some kind of contact, virtual or real life. It doesn't matter. So it's just to have some kind of couple of words with some witnesses.
I need to get my butt in gear and vote on you since we talk on a semi-normal, regular basis.
Yeah, it's not like try to be untouchable and be somewhere on top. So it's kind of to try to be approachable by others. It's the point, I suppose. Okay, guys. Wandering Mode was very specific and very short. Thank you for sharing. And that's actually a very good reason. If somebody wants to share more, you can. You can write it down in the chat. So it's if you are not comfortable with talking on microphone. So I just want to emphasize that. So it's really not end of the world if you don't talk. Nobody forces you to do that. But it will be nice to see your opinions and to share it with others. I have another question. I have a question. Where would be the line that you will never vote for some witness? So reason to not vote for somebody. So what will be that thin line that you can't just pass and vote for somebody? For example, you liked some witness, you voted for them, and then he did something, and then you said, oh, never again. And then you just unvote the witness. I don't know if
Well, I can answer this in a slightly different form. Right now, I'm in a debate with should I not be voting for 3Speak because 3Speak doesn't have video service, and really hasn't given much of an announcement as to when it's going to be fixed. So I'm just like, well, at what point do you either ask as a community for an update that like is because I'm a video, I do vlogs, that's one of my main ways that I interact with Hive. So the fact that 3Speak, who I've always supported, is down really like affects me, and I'm like, I don't know if removing the vote at this moment is the best thing, or I think the thing that frustrates me is they haven't put out much of a statement explaining. It's been like nearly 3 weeks, and there's not a lot of explanation, and so it's like, well, maybe there's a better use for my witness vote.
That's an interesting point of view, and I was thinking about the same thing. So it's I try to say that it's not personal to vote or unvote. And at the beginning of the show, I said so you can vote and unvote if you want in the same day. So it doesn't matter. So you can do that whenever you want and whatever times what you want to do it. So in a way, I hear you there because it was poor communication. So we didn't get any announcement which will maybe satisfy people who are loyal to the platform. I was doing the posts, also video blogs there, and we were doing with Layote's posts there, videos, and we even got a critic why we don't do that now, because the person didn't know that 3Speak upload doesn't work at the moment. So in a way, if we didn't get the announcement, but we would like to get it, I don't know, maybe in a way it will be good to unvote the witness, and maybe they will realize that people are unvoted, and maybe then they will come out with the announcement and explain themselves. So maybe it's a kind of a, how do you say it, like taking pushing out the mouse from the hole and on the open space, and then maybe to ask in that way, ask for announcement if we didn't do it in a good way. I did that in my business life with some companies. So when you have to pressure them to do better, and it's in a good manner, actually, it does good for them. So I suppose that maybe unvoting 3Speak at this moment would do some good for them for the future, and then you just can vote for them tomorrow again. So it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of a, if you don't have this two-way communication, you have to incentivize it to create it. So I agree with you on that. So, but it's a kind of a, yes, I was supporting them from a long time ago. I use the platform and it's okay, but it doesn't work at the moment, and I'm not happy with the announcement. I don't say that you can't have problems, but you can have an announcement. You can explain yourself. So I can hear you there. So that's a kind of a good reason to not vote or to unvote somebody. If somebody wants to have something to share also, this is an interesting to unvoting somebody.
Hey.
Hey, JD.
Good. It's evening here, so good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yeah. So I actually appreciate that we're talking about this. Um, when it comes to who we give our witness votes to. But before that, I just wanted to mention, maybe in defense for Tree Speak, they actually made an announcement on their Discord. I also got very frustrated. I had to come over to Discord and see if they made. And I think the last announcement I could see was dated 7th of November, um, um, where they actually stated that they were working and having difficulties, and then and that they are actually. I think if I could read it out, but Edispino made an announcement recently, and he says they're actually working on um, creating a decentralized approach using the SPK network node. And this solution will probably address the upload issues and align with their mission of creating a fully decentralized video storage ecosystem. So basically, they are trying to help us or let us realize that it's for the good. Basically, that the wait is for the good. But if they hadn't made a post about this, that would be where I would wonder why they didn't make a post about it. But I'm not really going to check um their their blog or their community. I think they have a community as well. If um if they made a post, because actually TreeSpeak serves a whole lot of us. I make videos as well and I post, but right now everyone is turning to YouTube to cross post into our Hive articles and all that. So that's for TreeSpeak. Then when it comes to the Hive witnesses, to be honest with you, I didn't really give attention to it when I first joined Hive. Can you hear me well?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, great. So I didn't really give attention to the Hive witnesses. I felt, like the the typical newbie. I just wanted to understand what Hive was, and then until subsequently I started seeing, on Discord where we're talking about things like this. And I feel um, one thing we should help, because I work to basically tell newbies about Hive. I try to onboard as many newbies I see interested in it. And so one thing that's one aspect of Hive I don't usually even let them know. But because when I tell them it's decentralized, I still try to let them know that it's not actually totally decentralized. There's still an order. There's still a some people we call witnesses, right? And they will have to be voted in or elected in and all that. But
And
they don't get it, to be honest,
and how do you
because there's
vote?
so much.
How do you vote? That's the question for today. How do you cast your
Yeah.
vote? What
So
reasons
for
are
me,
for you to vote for somebody?
okay, you asked two questions. How do I vote?
Yeah.
Um, the whole process of voting was complicated for me. So if someone is telling me to vote, I want to ask, okay, who is this person? What is this person doing? And then how easy? Can you just send me a link that will just take me straight to the place I'm going to vote? And then it's easy. I just have to enter maybe my Hive signer or my Hive keys and all that, and I've voted. Now, what are the things that make me vote a person? It's basically if this person is working on something, if this person is um um you know like we say developments basically. Hive in the last 1 year is not the same, as you must also agree with me. And there's so many things that have changed. SNC, for example, there's so many things that have changed. Like I got busy for a while. I got back into using SNC, and I realized a whole lot of things have changed. If SNC is coming back to me for to vote, definitely I'll vote for them. Leo
So,
Finance, what they're doing. Hello?
so you are voting for somebody when somebody is asking you for a vote.
No. I'm finding out what they're doing.
Why? Okay, no, just you just mentioned if SNC comes to you for a vote, then you will vote. So that's why
Yeah,
I
that's
got mixed up.
so what I mean is based on what I've seen them doing.
Okay.
I talked about the app and how much development has happened over time.
Yeah, you
Do you
have
get
visible results, and
the
then
proof
of
of work?
course they
Exactly.
are supporting. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's that proof of what they are doing. And then I'll go. I also mentioned Leo Finance. There's that proof of work. They are consistent. And okay, I see these people. Okay, I want to let them, be the ones, in that witness seat, right? I must mention PD. I think Trey Speaks too got my vote back then, so I don't know. I wouldn't just take away my vote. I'll give them benefit of the doubt to work out whatever is wrong with their their platform. All right, I think that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. You brought some interesting things to think about. Welcome Sakura 97. Welcome to the show. We are deep in the topics and we are deep in the talks. I just want to explain one thing regarding the three speaks. So I didn't say that something is good or bad. I think the Bitcoins didn't say the same too. So it was just a way of communication, and we know that they are doing a lot of good things. So that's of course a very positive thing. So it's not that I'm against them or whatnot. And I know that Bitcoins is not against them because we are all video creators and we know how it's important to have the platform like that. It's just the way how it went, so the thing was going down and stuff like that. So it's in the way of communication, nothing else. So nothing personal or something similar. Let me just check out the comment section. I think that you wrote a couple of things. Akim said Respeak is definitely doing a poor communication job. Yeah, they had one post about it, so I can give them that. But again, if we all care about the platform, so I care about Respeak, believe me or not, so I do care about them. But in a way, if you are doing something, so if you want to switch between two technologies, I understand what they try to build, and that's a very important thing that they're trying to build, and they're building that for a couple of years. So it's not just now. So it's a couple of years of work. It's just the switch between the old thing and the good thing. That, in my opinion, so that's just, and I said just my opinion, it should be smoother. So you have one solution and you use it, and when you have another solution developed in the background and tested, then you launch it out and then you make a smooth transition between things. And that's something that brings a lot of eyes on your project because you are doing responsible development of your project. And if you have this kind of a long breaks in your platform that doesn't work, that just makes some bitter feeling, and then you lose actually creators who are doing those things. I'm not lost creator. I will come back to TreeSpeak when they reestablish their functions. But I know that many of these who just came to Hive, and it happened before with some other projects when somebody new comes to Hive, and then you find some obstacles and you see that something doesn't work, then you just get disappointed and you never try it again. So that's the difference, and that's why it's important to have a smooth transition between technologies. And I know it's a lot of work, and I know it's complicated. I'm not a coder, but I understand that it's complicated. So that's just my reasoning behind it. Sorry about dragging about it. Wandering Moon, they may have moved on like the Deed Buzz team. It would be nice for project team to let people know about situations so someone else can step in. Yeah, that's exactly what we are talking about. I also like to know if my by the fire says, I also like to know if the witness is powering up some Hive too. Which proposals they support and why. Yeah, that's what we shared at the beginning of the show. So that's kind of a skin in the game. So if you are supporting, you should have some kind of high power behind you. I don't know. It's maybe just my way of thinking, but If you are talking about toothpaste, you have to use that toothpaste. So you can't spread things about something that you are not using. So it's the same thing with the Hive in a way. I don't know. Paloma said communication is a pending subject for most projects in Hive, and there's the opposite side too, those who sell smoke. Yes, we saw plenty of things like that, not just on Hive, but in crypto in general. It's okay to recognize when there are problems. On the contrary, it shows that we are human. Yes, we make mistakes, that's for sure. I made a lot of mistakes. Last show I made a mistake, I didn't mention governance part of the Hive power, and here we are. We have a show about it. Okay, we have a couple of minutes more if somebody wants to share their reasons for voting for witnesses. You can open your mic and talk. We are here to listen. If not, we can finish the show. We can have an after show. Not that we can, we will have an after show. As we are already 1 hour in the show. I try to keep these shows under 1 hour, but we are always somehow over 1 hour. I thought that this topic will not be interesting, but at the end it was very interesting to discuss with you guys. Thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your views. Everybody share something. Thank you, Volkatos, Batcoins, Foxcoin, JDR, Melinda, MyPathify, Paloma, Sakra, and Wandering Moon, and those who left us. Thanks for participating in the show. I like to say actively participating in the show, because you are shaping these shows, because you are adding valuable information, valuable views and opinions. If you would like to support me, the easiest way is to follow my account and vote for Layatis Witness, speaking of witnesses. And special thanks goes to Melinda and Good Karma for providing this space for the show, and also for the Good Karma Witness who is behind the instancy. Thank you for the space, and thanks everyone in the audience for making this show awesome. See you next Wednesday, and stay for the after show. Bye bye.